Hi, welcome to Wellness Woodbridge. I'm your host, Ann Mazza of Vito Mazza Salon and Spa and Hair and Scalp Wellness. And today we're here at Bounce Back Fitness. I'm here with Phil Claremont. He is the owner of this amazing facility. And we are going to talk about a posture workout. We're going to talk about some physiological knowledge, and it is going to be a very, very great show, so stay tuned. All right, so let's get warming up.
Let's loosen up. It's always great to have the body feel nice and loose and limber before you start stretching or doing any kind of joint mobilization. Because think of it as a rubber band that you're taking out of the refrigerator. If you're pulling it while it's cold, it's more likely to snap. So let's loosen up those muscles. If you can get onto a machine that's standing, that's even better, so that we're more upright and really challenging the posture. So this is what we're using now, just to get the body loose, and we'll address things later on the floor.
How fast do you want me to go?
Just ease into it. You don't have to go too crazy, but we'll add a little more resistance because it looks too easy for you. All right, so the first thing we're going to do, we're going to address the spine that's in your neck, the cervical spine. So it's a stupid looking exercise, which is going to make it very easy to remember. You have your hand right here at your chin. Push your face in like this, and you should feel a pressure right in the back of your neck. That area is the area that's hanging forward like this throughout the day. So we're driving that back, and then we're going to look up. And if you don't sound funny, then you're probably not doing it right.
Wow,
So
it
now,
hurts.
Yeah, that just lets you know those are the muscles that are stretched forward that should be holding you back. So we're gonna work from the top down for these things just to kind of get you in that motion. For that one, breathe, relax. If you need to get into a corner, if you're at a gym and you don't want people to look at you.
Just do this. I should just do this all the time.
Exactly. You just do this at the desk, anywhere throughout the day. You're driving, or those times that you notice that you're starting to really get lost into that hanging forward. We have cell phones, we have everything that pulls us down, and being tall, I'm always looking down, so that needs to get set back in place, just putting the spine back in neutral.
Yeah, definitely.
After that, we'll work our way down here to the mat. Let's go for foam rolling first. Let's get to get the order of all these things first. We're going to go with the foam rolling to get the order of things, so we make sure we just address the neck first. Now we're going to loosen up certain things in the legs and in the back. Big thing, if you have osteoporosis or any kind of clotting issues, this is something to stay away from because this could have more harm than good. But this is myofascial release. So first we're down here, we're rolling out the quads. These muscles, especially the hip flexors, get shortened from sitting down all day. So we're going to attack that, see if there's anything, because these knots will limit you gaining your flexibility.
So you're saying that rolling out the front is actually affecting the back?
It affects the entire machine because everything's connected. So as much as we want to simplify things and make it sound like, it's just quad, kick, that's good for the knee, it's not that simple. So one thing we're going to do, we'll check that area out. If it's too easy and you don't feel any pressure or any kind of sensitive area, then you don't need the work. But we'll also try and single it out so we can get one leg at a time, put more weight into it. And we'll see.
And I can do both at the same time.
Exactly. That's good to scan it out, just to get a general approach to it. You can drop down to the forearm, so it's a little more passive, and it turns into somewhat of a warm-up exercise for you, too.
Yeah, I'm definitely tender on the top.
Yeah, you feel it?
Yep.
All right, so now we're going to take on the challenge of crossing the legs so you can single out more weight, and then you kind of angle yourself so you put that leg underneath you. So you have the right leg crossed behind you. That means we're focusing on the left leg. Turn your upper body to the right so you can send more weight to the left leg. So you're going to go the other way, going towards
this way.
That way. There you go.
Oh, okay.
Now, if you find any spot that calls out to you, that means it needs the attention. And you can stay in that zone, twist side to side, rotate, whatever you have to do to really break it down.
I have a roller at home. I've never done this, but I definitely am going to.
Perfect.
I'm going to switch legs now.
Exactly. Switch the other side. You devote about 45 seconds max to it. It's not going to be solved in one day because it's a habit that's already there that was formed. It's either protecting you or it's overworked. Either way, we're not here to find out why exactly, but what we can do to make it better.
So how often would you say to do this?
You can do this every day, really. Just don't overdo it to the point you're bruised up and beat up. And good. All right, so now we're going to take it to the upper back. What you do, you lay flat onto it. You only roll the area where there's ribs. Do not go to your lower back. Hold the weight of the head so you can be a little more passive and just kind of stretch and relax. Go right to the shoulders. Roll, roll, roll. Before you hit the lower back, you stop. Your ribs would be right around here. That's all you need. This one's more relieving. You might hear a few things snap, crackle, and pop. I just got one. That's a nice feeling. You might walk out of the gym an inch taller if you're really lucky.
That sounds good.
All right, perfect. Now lean the head back. Think about part of that neutral spine thing we were working on standing up over there, how we were pushing the face in reverse. And I'll have the elbows out even wider, so you're kind of hugging that bar or that roller behind you. There you go. So we're promoting that extension that we're lacking, because once again, if we're always rounded forward, that upper back hangs into it. So we're cracking it backwards, opening it up. And like I said, this is more of the pleasant foam rolling. There's a lot of other ones which get a lot more painful, which is not what you want to do in the beginning. You just want to get that positive relationship with this kind of stuff.
No, I'm glad.
All right, so now from here, we're staying on the mat. You're going to lay flat on the back, relax. Now this one, is for the first time, it's going to be great for you to see this. You're going to have your toes pointed to the ceiling, stretching out the calves, arms stretched out to the side, and you want to feel like the upper body is just flat, because there's going to be some things that it's going to try and do to compensate. What you're going to do is slowly lift this leg to the point as high as comfortable. And I'm going to show you something that happens on this side, which you wouldn't even pay attention to. So go for it. Have this leg come up, and very slight, this leg wants to turn out. That's a compensation in your hip. So we're going to bring this back down. What you're going to do is watch this side. I'm going to have my finger right above it so you can tell if it starts to rotate at all. And now as soon as this one starts to turn, hit the brakes for this one. So we have that same pace, go up nice and slow. Good, it's a little shorter, which is great. Now we get the true image of what's going on in the hip. So now for somebody at home, you can put your leg on a doorway so you have your body kind of hanging through it. And this is going to get a stretch in your hamstring. If you don't feel one, you can scoot in more, but I'm going to be here anyway, so I'm going to push this up a little higher. What you're going to do is crank the left leg up and down, and you may feel some things in the hip itself. What you're doing is you're trying to teach the hip to roll around better in that joint. Especially if you have tight hamstrings, this is one that will help the hip to move around better, so when we do our exercises, it taps into that same area. So we free up the area, we use the area, it's more likely that you're going to be able to keep it. Of course, like I said, if you're combating some other habits that made it get there, we're going to have to find those in everyday living. Let's say if you're at your desk and it's twisted to one side, or if you commonly pick up something off the floor with your back rather than with your legs, that's when you'll notice it. And good, we'll hit the brakes. We'll check out the other side. The numbers really depend on if these two are even. If you feel like one is drastically different,
I do.
You want to do things twice as much on the side that's affected. So the side, let's say this side only went up to here.
Right.
We would double up the amount that we're cranking this thing to make sure that it catches up first, because we don't want to build on asymmetries. You think of when asymmetry is imbalance. So if one side is way more mobile than the other, and you're doing squats where both legs are on the floor, it's not getting the same work in the hips, and it's just more damaging than good. So the whole point is we just want to make sure we feel good and look good, and you're strong. So now, kind of guided you, and you already know, so that's good. You were watching this one, we're going to go, yeah, right around there, looks perfect. All right, so now we're going to crank this one, go for the right leg, and you want to feel that toe pointing to the ceiling the whole way through. Jab it down, drive it up, looking good. What I'm slowly doing is bringing this leg up while I can get away with it. If you're at home doing this, you just kind of slowly drive in. If you can, you just scoot yourself on the floor. How does it feel?
This is definitely my tighter leg, the left leg. It's just been a problem for me for a while now.
There you go. Was there any injury on it in the past?
You know, I just noticed, the left has always just been a lot tighter. I mean, is that common?
That happens, absolutely. Let's say if you played a sport, you have a side that you like to jump off of, that you treat more like, let's say, soccer, you're kicking with one leg more than the other.
For me, it was dance, but it was always the left that was
you probably
tighter.
Have your tendencies that you just, that's wired into your brain and how you move. And good. So that is a great start to those things. We're going to go right into the next part for your upper back, which is more about rotation. So we're going to take this leg over and across. You're going to bend this knee, bring it to up about belly button height. So I'm going to bend this one, try to loosen this one up for me. There you go, making it passive. All right, so now we go as close as we can to getting this knee onto the floor, which may pick up that shoulder. And it's great that you're fighting it, because that's exactly what the exercise is. You're going to flip that hand so it's palm to the ceiling. That external rotation helps open up your shoulder so we get even more of that packed back. You're going to reach over like you're going to hit me, and now you're going to wind back out there, but your focus is on your shoulder blade flattening to the floor more so than your hand. So wind it up, coming over, you really come over and look with it, and drive that shoulder back, and then turn towards it with the face and breathe. When you exhale, you usually tend to get a little bit more of that motion in there. Coming back. And now where are some of the spots that you feel stretch or anything?
Definitely in my leg right now where you're pushing down, I can feel, it's tight in my glutes and...
That's right. Outside of the hip, the glutes This kind of locks you in a certain position so we can focus on the upper back. But of course, you'll feel this stretching out just as much, which is phenomenal. Because machines are all in one plane, but people get hurt when they're doing rotation. If people are shoveling, they throw their back out. So this is kind of making you injury proof. So we'll come over for another one. And good. You'd repeat the same thing on the other side. Same deal. And you would have the same focus that we had with the legs. If you see one side that's way different, then you treat it with double the work. All right, so now the first one we're going to do, going to mix up some of our shoulder stability with the hip stability. So you try to keep this bar in contact with the back of your head, upper back, and your tailbone. As that happens, the elbow is out wide for both. And you drop forward, you should feel the hamstring stretch out while the back stays tall so that you can get that habit of just using the legs to really move you through and nothing going to the lower back. So I'll act it out one more time. Just drop in there, hips stretch back, hamstrings open up, chest to the floor. Try it out.
Now, is this more of a core exercise, or what exactly is this going to do for me?
This one is throwing a lot of it together. So when we're talking about posture, we're talking about the whole body moving as a unit. So you're going to get some leg work, hip mobility, shoulder stability and mobility, and a little bit of core work because you have to keep everything aligned as you're driving through it. So I'm going to move you up a little higher on this arm. This hand's going to be right at the scoop of the lower back. And then this hand's going to go right at the neck, right at the back of the head. There you go. So now you have those 3 points of contact. Fight to keep that elbow out wide, and now drop into it so you feel those hamstrings open up.
Bend my legs.
Chest drives to the floor. So there's a slight bend that can go to the knees, but you want most of it to go to the hip. So it doesn't have to be locked. It can be a very slight little bit of it. There you go. Now, so far, do you feel anything going to your lower back?
No, I don't feel it in my lower back. Definitely like my upper hamstrings.
There we go. So you keep going for that. That's the basis of what you'd want to do. You want to have this mastered before you start adding weights to it. A lot of people pick up weights and just feel like that's the best way to get things done. But we want the movement pattern to be strong so that way you feel and look good and you're not hurting yourself in the long run. And good. Perfect with that. There's always going to be things to work on, so nobody has to be 100% perfect with any exercise as long as it's not hurting you. Let's go for some more hip stuff since you're already in the motion. We're going to go for some kettlebell swings. I prefer swings that go to your hip, not to your legs and your knees, not so much of a drop. So you're going to carry on a lot of that same focus you just had from dropping into it. You grab the weight, you fling it back like you're hiking a football, swing it through. Like that. You feel the back of the legs push forward, core muscles catch it at the top. And if you can also imagine there's this line right here that you don't want to reach under as you're swinging, you're right above in this triangle. So you punch through here, drive through and get tall. Squeeze everything in the back of the legs. So stay right here, drop it to the floor. Before you go anywhere, feel the back get taller by pulling the chest up. Exactly. So more like we still have that bar there. We want to keep that as a habit. And now from that, you throw that weight back, fling through your heels. So feel the hips push forward. And you come up at the same time. So it's pop like that. Tough thing is you want to make sure the weight stays in your heels. So you're pushing through and it's got to be explosive. So pop through. Yeah, there we go. With time, it only gets better. Drive through. Stay explosive. And you want to get that superhero posture at the top. Oh yeah, we're going to get some sweat with these.
Yep.
All right, so the next one. This thing is called the TRX. It is very awkward because now the weight isn't something you move. You are the weight. What you'll do here, we're going to be working towards the upper back. So finding your footing or finding the spot that's appropriate for you is really the advantage of this thing, because if it's too easy, you can walk in. If it's too tough, you walk away. What I want you to do is exactly what I just ran through. You're going to drive your elbows out wide and then extend. With that extending, you want to feel your body pushing forward to get in between the hands, more so than your arms pulling back. So that's the basis of it. We'll see it in action. So now everything we're doing is going to tie in together nicely. So this is going to help make your kettlebell swings better. It's going to make that first thing better. Before you even start, you pull your shoulder blades back almost as if you're exaggerating that drive. As soon as you do that, your abs are going to want to push forward. So you're going to have to tighten this while the upper back is going. So two things are working at the same time, and then you're going to add the exercise. So this is going to really help your posture develop. You're going to drive your elbows out wide, keeping that pack. And now act like you're going to hit me with your hands, and it's driving you forward more. So keep extending the elbows. You got it. Hit me. Check me out.
Hit you like this?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
There we go. Now, the TRX tells no lies. It's too easy for you. So we're gonna come forward right around here.
Okay.
Good, trust it, believe in it. Go back to that hanging posture, and you know that you're never relaxing, because even when your arms are straight, shoulder blades are locked back, abs are strong, drive through again, pull, pull,
Pull up.
Yep, and now have the arms go out wide so they push you forward even more, like that. Keep going. Let's go for about 3 more.
So where am I going from here? Back?
On the drop, come right back into the row, and then extend yourself right back out. So you just go right back the same way you came through it. Exactly. The best way to think of it is just like you would if you were doing weightlifting.
Right.
If you were doing a bench press, you drive up, you come right back down.
I don't do that much.
Bad example, right? So let's go right back. If anything, it's the fact that it's still too easy for you, because if you stand up at the top, it's almost like you've conquered it.
Yes.
So let's keep going.
I'm going to just
let's
fall
walk
back
in
and you can tell me where I'm
why
going.
not? Come on in. All right. So now I'm going to kind of stop you at the top because you're too strong. And you're going to roll right out there.
Okay.
Go ahead, go for it. And then wait. See? There, exactly. That's the urge to want to stand up. So stay right in here, and now let the arms straighten out to try and punch me.
Now it hurts.
Yes. There we go. Perfect. Nice. So that's the first thing to try and stop, is trying to defeat the exercise entirely.
Definitely feel that in my arms.
Perfect.
I mean, is that the goal?
Oh yeah, you're gonna work on everything going across the upper back like that, so that whole chain, and the core muscles at the same time.
And from here, you want me to just fall back?
Hang back, drop right back down to the beginning, and good. All right, out of that one. Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, so now let's drop down here. Won't be too crazy in terms of the challenge on the upper body. So we're gonna go modified push-ups. Have the arms here, right under the shoulders, exactly. Knees back. Think of sinking into those shoulder blades, very similar to how you were hanging from the shoulder blades before. So you're like that. All right, we drop in. Elbows out to the sides, drive out, and then add this reach to the ceiling. Two things are going on. You're getting a lot of rotation in the waist, and then the arm on the underside has to feel stable too. So you're gonna go for that one again. I'm gonna run you through it. So drop into the push-up. Good squeeze in the back. Now feel this shoulder staying back or crunching into the shoulder blade as you reach with this side and rotate. So you feel like this crunches back, very similar to that stretch that we did on the floor. You wanna get this to work. So now we're taking advantage of all that space we freed up. Drop in. We can go for the opposite side. Let's see it just to compare. There you go. And you'll find things out about yourself like, oh, this shoulder likes to round forward. This shoulder needs to pull back more. And then that's exactly what you want to take out with you to the real world, where you're looking at, oh, this is the arm that's always on the steering wheel. That's why it's always rounded forward. Or this is the side that I sleep on.
Yeah.
So then you'll be able to tie these things together and kind of problem solve and put yourself back together like a mystery. It's a fun thing. That's why I love doing this. It's great. Keeps you guessing.
Well, it's very intense. I mean, you're able to really see things that I probably can't see, so.
That's all right. It's kind of like trying to cut your own hair. It's not as easy. And perfect. Good.
So we're here with Phil, the owner of Bounce Back Fitness. Phil, this is a beautiful facility. I'm so excited to be here with you today. That was a great workout.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit about what you offer here.
All right. Well, personally, I went to school for physical therapy. I have my bachelor's in physical therapy. So I made this gym or this personal training studio with the thought process of grabbing somebody from any walk of life. Let's say you came straight out of surgery, you're an athlete, you just want to be able to move. You come here, we work things through smart, and we make sure you can move great, feel great, less aches and pains, just more strength and getting a positive relationship with your body. So we have personal training here, we have small group training classes, spin classes, yoga, total body conditioning classes. We try to run the gamut.
So you can help people of all ages and all different walks of life, which is nice.
Absolutely.
I could tell with working with you, it was a lot of physiological understanding that you have and experience. So it was great to see that and understand that, and I'm sure that your clients do benefit from that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Think of it, this is the only car you have. Are you going to take it to a dealer that's just a rinky-dink $20 oil change, or are you going to take it to the Ferrari dealership and make sure you're running on all cylinders?
Absolutely, and I like the flexibility that you offer. So basically, how would you go about starting up a personal training program with you?
Well, we would set up a trial session. That way we can make sure you have a chemistry with the person, the timing works best for you as a client. And then we get in here, get rolling. We want to figure out what you've been through with your exercise history, what things you like, what you don't like. The reasons that you've fallen off the wagon or the reason that you're rekindled now, we want to kind of get deep into that stuff, because it's not just moving with weights, it's understanding what makes you slide backwards, what kind of takes you out of that zone. That way we can make it more of a lifestyle shift and not just some kind of fad diet. We want to make sure that you're successful.
And sure enough, as you're older, I mean, you do feel different aches and pains, things happen, it's habitual behaviors, you know, in all of our lives. And so often you think, all right, well, I'm just going to go to the gym and I'm going to work out and I'm exercise and I'll feel better. But it's like, are we doing the right thing at the gym? And that's kind of what I learned from you today. I'm kind of questioning, like, is it great to go work out and maybe be doing it wrong? Or is it better to maybe go a little lighter and be doing it the right way?
Absolutely. In the grand scheme of things, I'm always going to tell people to get up and move, because at least you're getting the habit in place. It's going to be easier to make the little adjustments to get things to be more efficient for your body. So as long as you're not hurting yourself, go, get the body moving, feel the reward of exercise. So at least you can get that association of exercise is good for me. Of course, fine tuning things to the degree that we do here, that's making sure that you're putting the body in the optimal position, which is why we're doing the postural work, to make sure that it carries out into the real world and not just feeling good in here.
So today we did focus on posture. I have been told I have terrible posture my whole life. Was that the reason that you decided to do this?
It was not that bad at all. Not
Okay.
at all. A lot of times it's really just, like I said, this technology has made us all have little things that mess with our posture. So, you know, we don't have to swing from a tree. We don't have to climb ladders and climb objects. We kind of turned off a lot of the things that we were born with. And if you don't use it, you lose it. So
Okay.
I don't think you have terrible posture at all. But anyway, no matter who comes in here, I try to find what's challenging for them as an individual.
Okay.
So what we do today, or what exercises have done, it's not perfect for everybody. It may be a different starting block for somebody else. It's really personal training.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say to you. So each client that you work with, you would be customizing. Not so much, is it definitely their goals that you're going to use, or is it something that you'll see in them that makes you condition the workout to
The
what they
client
need?
is always the boss. So whatever they feel is most important to them is going to be the start, and we slip in whatever percentage of what we need to do to make sure that they feel good at the same time. So let's say you wanted to, I know we joked about bench press, you want to bench press 200 pounds. I may not think that's a great idea, but it's important to you. I'll find a way for you to get to that goal safely, cleanly, and just, you know, get you there.
So the outstanding client service always, like Vito Mazza, you just make
There
it
you go.
happen.
That's right.
The other thing, though, that I was going to say is, you know, I'm not a big gym person. I know everybody on Wellness Woodbridge sees me do this every week, but it's just not my thing. So I don't know that I would know what to tell you were my goals, you know? So I'm just wondering, do you have a wide range of clients like that?
Yes.
That maybe some are very like, oh no, Phil, this is what I want to do. And then you have the other half that maybe don't know, you know, what's the best thing to work on?
There's a good amount of people that really don't have a specific goal. It's just, they know what they don't want. And that kind of drives them in that direction. While we're going through the sessions, I try and narrow their focus onto more positive thinking so they can see exactly what they do want. Rekindle that, because there's going to be times it's raining. You're not going to want to go to the gym. You're not going to want to get out and work hard. That's the time when you have to remind yourself, this is what I'm doing it for, rather than I just don't want to look like this. 'Cause
Yes.
that's not going to give you that motivation.
Well, I like the physical therapy knowledge that you have. And I know that even my chiropractor, you know, he has the physical therapy set up, and they've had me do certain exercises. And then she tells me, oh, yeah, do them 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Ask me if I've done them.
Yeah. Oh, please. I see that.
So I think you need, you know, someone to help you also to, you know, be accountable and like stay on top of that.
Absolutely. That's the huge thing, accountability. You teach somebody accountability when it's like, if you only let yourself down, nobody knows. There's somebody there waiting for you. They're looking for you to show up to the session. It changes your whole process and it makes it more habitual.
So how often do you recommend seeing your clients?
2 to 4 times a week.
Wow.
I wouldn't go straight to the 4 in the beginning, because it's something you want to work your way up to. Of course, tendons and ligaments have to grow at their own pace. Muscles just seem like they grow faster. But you want to have, you want to also make it an attainable goal where you're rewarding yourself. You're happy. You're like, look at that. I made it to the gym 2 times. I really worked hard. And then you can slip in some of those other days as you grow, as you get used to it.
Okay. So you have 2 locations, one in Metuchen and one here in Woodbridge. And you have group classes, but it's not a membership-based gym. So talk a little bit about, you know, your business concept and where you're going with this.
Simplicity and accountability on the client. You want things to be better in your life. We're here. The resources are available. You tap in. So the classes, there's no contracts. With personal training, of course, when you buy in bundles, that is set, and you're going to have to finish that. There's no backing out of it. So you step in, you make sure you live up to the expectation, and the PT helps you hold yourself accountable. The class takes more accountability from yourself, and you use it however you see whatever fits, whatever works for your schedule, whatever works for your budget. I try to make it so there's options for everybody.
Wow. So health and wellness is a lifestyle for you. I mean,
Absolutely.
obviously we can tell that. And now you also have a smoothie restaurant right on Main Street. So we're so excited about that. I think you're keeping our whole community healthy and giving everyone lots of options.
That is the goal, because I can feel it myself. I can tell when there was as I've gotten busier, there's less ability for me to prepare, or I'm just not as focused on it. So when I have to run outside and get something to eat, there weren't too many great healthy options, truly healthy options, because there's things that may look healthy, and then you throw all the salad dressing on it and you just ruin your salad. So,
yes.
Yeah.
No, I know for me it's definitely a struggle with my, schedule, trying to, on Sundays I feel like I spend the whole day food shopping, organizing, preparing, lunches, dinners.
It takes a lot of effort.
It really does.
Yeah.
It really does if you want to eat correctly, and I think that's a good part of how this all ties in. So it is a great marriage for you to this business as well.
Absolutely. It's really 4 facets. It's your activity level, your sleep, nutrition, and your stress. So I've helped with the 2, unless I start a psychology place, then a sleep center.
It.
Yeah, the other 2 it's all on you. But I'm trying to help make it easier for people to be healthier here.
So what are your goals for the future? How do you want to grow this business? What are your plans?
Well, to tell you the truth, if I have phenomenal trainers that make me feel like we can take this further, I'm all for it. At the same time, I don't want to water down what we're giving here, because it does take a lot of skill, and we have a high standard for our trainers here. So as much as I'd love to make this like a nationwide facility, I have to pump my brakes and make sure that we give clients the best, and we grow accordingly.
That's wonderful. How many trainers do you have currently?
I would say 5 or 6, and then 3 instructors. Okay. So small staff. I don't want to have too many people where I can't keep track of what's going on. And like I said, people have to prove their ability as a trainer to make sure they can carry the brand of Bounce Back Fitness.
That's great. That's really, really great. Do they have to have a physical therapy background?
No, because I know I'm like a unicorn, not to toot my own horn, but there's not many people that have gone to school for that and have the same beliefs I do. So they're probably out there in the working world as a physical therapist.
Okay.
I'm big on training my trainers to be more rehearsed to what I believe in and how to approach things. So case by case basis, I'll talk them through their clients. Okay, so what's your plan for this? What have you assessed in this? Have you checked this? Going through a list to make sure everybody's getting the same kind of approach that I would give.
That's great. Great system.
Thank you.
We're so happy to be here with you.
Happy to have you.
Thanks so much for giving us a great, knowledgeable workout today.
Thank you. Thank you. Work smart.
So thank you so much for joining us today, Phil. This has been so great, very knowledgeable, and I really enjoyed our time together.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
And I encourage all of our Woodbridge residents that are looking for more of an in-tuned, one-on-one, very quality personal training experience that you come here to Bounce Back. Also head on over to Want a Smoothie, eat right, be healthy. And that's what we're all about on Wellness Woodbridge. So thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.